Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today is day 6, I believe. And we are looking at Argo, Consolidated Outland, Greycat Industrial, and Kruger. These manufacturers have less ships in their lineup, so they're all being grouped together in one day. And it gives us the ability to look at multiple manufacturers and really look at the value. So without further ado, we're just gonna get right into this video. Now, the first ship we have up is the Mole. This is a very cool ship. This is the second tier of the mining profession. This is a 4 person ship with 3 miners and a pilot, but players also solo this ship by just moving from the pilot seat into the mining seat. And if you're going to solo it, you can make a lot more money. Now, I know people also dual box ships like this, where they essentially have 2 computers and 2 accounts, and they have both players, one player in the pilot seat, one player in the laser operator seat. But CIG have recently rebalanced the mining gameplay loop, where larger rocks are easier to crack with multiple people in multiple seats. So there is an advantage to having your friends help you in a mole rather than flying it solo, because they can synchronize the energy. How CIG explains it is that because the energy output is coming from a singular ship, a singular power plant, that it can be, the frequency is synchronized and it can break the rock more efficiently rather than something like using multiple prospectors to break a large rock. Again, you still can use multiple prospectors, but it will be less efficient than using a mole. And I think the new gameplay balance feels good. A lot of people in the mining profession like it, and it kind of brings back the usefulness of this ship. Before, it was kind of in a bad place because a lot of people, when they're going mining with their friends, they kind of would just prefer to go in multiple prospectors. But now CIG rebalance mining, it feels a lot better for people to multi-crew ships like this. And I kind of believe that that CIG will kind of continue this path with ships like the Orion that have that big grinding, that have that large rock grinding component at the front of the ships. Maybe that is necessary to break down larger asteroids before they can be mined. Again, that would be very cool and unique gameplay for that ship that makes it so a mole can't mine the same rocks an Orion can. And at $315, I do think that this is a good value. It is a big price gap between the prospector, but again, because its use case is a little bit more specified now, I do feel like it's in a much better place than it was before. And because of physicalized cargo, you can remove the saddlebags. You can't buy or sell saddlebags right now, but I'm sure that gameplay is coming, and when you can, you will be able to do a lot more with it. Okay, so yes, I would recommend the Mole. It's in a pretty good place right now. I don't think I would have recommended it before the rebalance, but I would recommend it now. Next, we have the MPUV Cargo. This is the ship that the community really went to bat for during the, the best in show competition. There was a little bit of drama around this ship because, people were saying it. Before that, there was kind of this, thought process that, this was a ship that CIG forgot, and so people kind of wanted to protest the best in show by really voting on this little guy, the underdog. $35 right now. It is a single seater. It has a seat in it, a little bit of cargo in there. This cargo box is supposed to be removable, I believe, and I think CIG showed off in the sneak peek that we will be getting the version of this that doesn't have any cargo pod on it, so it will be able to also carry the 32 SCU cargo boxes and you know, be like a space forklift, so to say. Yeah, $35 is not a bad deal. I'm not sure if they will make it a system where they sell this with the cargo box and the cargo box is detachable, and the version that they sell without the cargo box will just be cheaper. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it, but right now I don't think $35 is a bad deal for this ship if you have an intended purpose for it. Again, if you want to do that kind of gameplay. Right now, I would say it's so cheap in game. If you wanted to just mess with this ship a little bit, just buy it in game. Again, $35 is not a lot of money, but when these ships are so cheap in game, I always just recommend people buy them in game. You know, your hard-earned money is your hard-earned money. Why spend it if you don't have to? And then we have the personnel. This has seats inside it, and it can transport players and possibly NPCs in the future. Again, $40 is not a bad deal, but they're so cheap in game that, you know, any ship under, you know, $4 million, if it's, you know, if it's under 4 million, you can really just grind for a weekend. I've seen some players, you know, make millions, you know, doing one mission. So if you're willing to grind for a weekend, or, you know, maybe you're a newer player and you're just learning the game, I believe that you can make enough money to buy these things in game. They're not that expensive. $40 of real money. I don't think it's necessary to spend, because again, there's not a whole lot of gameplay for this right now. So yeah, it's a buying game recommendation for me, but a very cool ship. Then we have the Raft. This is a very cool ship. Again, a lot of people in the community love it. I recommended it. Okay, this is a good ship because it has a lot of fuel, has a lot of range, and it has a pretty decent cargo capacity. $125 and you're getting 96 SU of cargo. The C1 has 64 SU of cargo. Okay. And these two ships are very close in price. You have a pretty nice interior on the ship too, and good weapons loadouts. You've got a pilot, co-pilot. Again, the interior on the ship is very nice, detailed. I like the Argo design language. You have a lot of fuel, you have a lot of cargo. If you're dedicated in running cargo, you really don't have to worry about carrying ground vehicles. I know a lot of people say that these kinds of ships you know, aren't as nice because they can't carry ground vehicles, but if you're only focused on cargo, and because again, realistically, you guys, there's no reason ground vehicles have no purpose in this game right now. We need roads, we need a lot of infrastructure, we need different gameplay. I wouldn't worry too much about ground vehicles. I mean, if this is the only ship in your fleet, that might be something you want to be concerned about. Again, if you have a one ship fleet, you might want to pick the C1, okay? But if you know the cargo gameplay, trading, hauling, that's the gameplay you want, then $125, in my opinion, is a really good deal for 96 SU cargo, okay? So, yeah, I think this is a good consideration, and I would recommend this ship. It's a lot of fun to fly. It has a nice interior. It has a lot of fuel. You don't have to worry about fuel. And it's enough cargo to make a decent amount of money on. With the cargo refactor, they recently updated the cargo on here. So that system is a little bit interesting because it was originally designed to hold those larger, you know, 34 SCU, those 32 SCU boxes. So it's kind of funky with the smaller boxes, but you know, it works good if you're just trading that specific amount. But I don't think this is a bad ship. I think this is a pretty interesting ship all around. And then we have the SRV, $165. This is the store credit version. War Bond, I believe it's 150. You know, this is the tow truck, the tow boat, whatever you want to call it. You can tow ships, wreckages with this ship. I believe more gameplay is planned for this ship. Right now, functionally it works, but as a solo player, there's not a ton for you to do with this ship right now. I know some people were theorizing there might be missions, like CIG might spawn a mission in space of a wreckage. You have to take it to a salvage yard, for instance. That would be a good gameplay mission. Hey, you go to your mission manager, there's a mission for a salvage wreck out in space. Maybe it has a little bit of cargo on it, because the SRV has a cargo inside. So let's say this salvage wreck has a little bit of cargo in it. You take the cargo out, you put it in the cargo of the SRV. You take the ship to the salvage yard, you drop the ship off, you get paid for the mission, you sell the cargo that you found on the ship. I think that would be a pretty cool gameplay loop, and I hope CIG adds something like that for this ship. But right now we don't have those types of missions. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if CIG made those types of missions. It seems like it wouldn't be too hard for them to do at this point. $65, this is really the only ship in the game that can do that. So you really can't say this is a bad value if that is the specific gameplay loop you're interested in. This is really the only ship that you have that you can do that. So under $65, again, it's currently not available in game. So if you want to try this out, you know, you could always CCU from something else. But I would recommend this ship. I've tried it out in game now. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit of fun. Right now, IAE, you can rent it for free. Go try it out for yourself. And we're going to take a look at Consolidated Outland. So first up, we have the Hover Quad. This is a cool little hover bike coming in at $30. It has, you know, personal storage. It has little components. It is very fast. What I like about it is that it's more stable than something like, you know, the Nox. Not as fast as the Nox, I believe. Again, I could be wrong about that, but it is more stable, and that's what I like about it. It's kind of not, you know, flipping and rolling and diving all over the place. So again, this is under that $50 recommendation I have for ground vehicles, but they're so cheap in game. I always just recommend buying them in game. Then we have the Mustang Alpha, $30. It's the same price as the Hover Quad, and right now this comes with 10-year insurance. This is a great 10-year insurance token, and it's also a pretty good starter because now it has the cargo box on the bottom that you can actually put stuff in and use for box missions, or if you're going looting. So that's pretty cool, and I like that. If you know, even if you have a big fleet, these small starter vehicles are great to have as little runabout ships when you don't want to wait for insurance timers, when you don't want some big complicated ship to fly. You just have some small, you know, thing that you want to do. This ship has pretty good maneuverability, pretty good firepower. Again, with the box on the bottom, it is useful. $30 is very cheap. Again, it's the same price as a Hover Quad, and it has a quantum drive. You really can't go wrong. I highly recommend the Mustang Alpha. Then we have the Mustang Beta. Mustang Beta is another variant of the Mustang coming in at $40. The Beta is the one that has the interior. It has a bed to log out in. It doesn't have the cargo. $40 is not bad. I don't really recommend this ship though, because the interior isn't really that useful. I do think, you know, the $45 price range, you know, $5 more, you know, you can get another starter ship. You can get you know, a cutter or something like that, that, you know, has the cargo and has the bed to log out in. You know, again, this is a little bit better in combat than that, but it's up to you. Then we have the Delta. This is the combat focus one, $65. I'm not gonna, you know, stay on this one too long. I think it's just a little bit too expensive. I think, you know, it's $60. You go up to $75, add $10 more, you can get an arrow or something that's really gonna, you know, stand out in dogfighting. Again, not a crazy bad price or anything like that. I just think there are better options. You know, $65. You know, that's a 300i. That's a 315p. I mean, so I don't know. I just feel like at that price, it's not a bad ship, but it's not a great ship. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of meh to me. And then we have the Mustang Gamma, $55. It's not a bad price at all for a racing ship. You look at something like the Fury LX coming in on roughly the same price. This has a quantum drive. I mean, it obviously doesn't handle as well as the Fury LX, but it's a racing ship. It has a quantum drive. $55 is not a bad price. If you're interested in racing, I say go for it. Racing is not really a lucrative profession right now. People just do it because they like it. So in the future, I believe CIG will, continue to rebalance and figure racing out. But right now, it's not lucrative at all. People just race for fun at this point. So $55 just to have some fun and race around with the Mustang Gamma, I don't think it's a bad deal. Then we have the Nomad, the tow truck of Star Citizen. This is an awesome ship coming in at $80. It's got 3 size 3s, 1 down here, 2 up here. It's got the, I believe, 24 MPUV Cargo. Now it has a tractor beam to manage the cargo in the back, and that's actually great. And I've seen a lot of people, because it has that open, bed, I've seen people fit larger boxes in the back of the Nomad, and the boxes just actually kind of stick out the back, but it works. And you can actually carry more cargo than this thing is, rated for. You can also carry a Grey Cat RLC in the back and do ground mining on planets, carry an STV in the back, a little ground vehicle rover. It's got a bed to log out in, it's got a bathroom, components, it's got a hover landing gear. Not everyone loves the hover landing gear, but I don't think it's too bad. It's just one of those things that you have to be mindful of when you're landing on planets with, altering terrain, when you come to bring the bed of it down in the back, the cargo bed in the back of it down. It also has pretty good visibility. $80 is not a bad deal, in my opinion, for everything that you're getting. Yeah, I would recommend this ship. It's a good little ship. And then we have the Pioneer. Pioneer is a very cool ship. This is the base building ship coming in at $850. Now, CIG is working on base building. They said that, it's part of their 12-month plan. I don't realistically think that it's going to come out in the next 12 months, but it is going into active production. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more about it next year. They're also planning the Galaxy to have that ability. So I think probably the Galaxy will see the modules and different stuff. I don't know what ship they're going to come out with first, if they're going to do this, the Pioneer, or if they're going to do the Galaxy first. But this is the full scale base building. So the Galaxy's base building is more limited. This, you can basically build anything. You can build, bases, you can build little houses, you can build production facilities. This is like the base building capital ship. So $850, I don't actually think it's a bad deal. Let's go take a look at the offers real quick. And yeah, this unfortunately is one of those limited hull ships. So it's currently sold out. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at Grey Cat Industrial. So starting off, we have the ROC coming in at $55. This is not a bad deal. With 10-year insurance, you can pick this up and start ground mining and make a decent amount of money. Now the biggest problem with this, again, is it comes in over that $50 the ground vehicle threshold, and it is very cheap in game. And you can even just rent these. You don't even have to own them. You can rent them and use them only when you need them, and there is a decent amount of profit margin in doing that. So if you want it for a 10-year insurance token, I would say it's not too bad. Again, only $5 over that $50 mark. But if you want to just use this for a while, I would say you could rent it in game, buy it in game. There's no reason to buy it with real money. But yeah, I wouldn't say I don't recommend it, because it's a very cool ground vehicle and probably the most useful ground vehicle in the game right now. Then we have the Raft DS. This is a very controversial ground vehicle in the game. This is one of those ground vehicles that a lot of people don't like, because it has a lot of shortcomings. Now, Officially, the Rock DS was shown off at the same time as the RC, but I think a lot of people forgot about it. Now it has a bit more storage than the regular Rock, and if you want to go with another person, fine, but $75 is a lot of money, and again, it's very cheap in game. You can just buy it in game. I don't recommend this ship. And the gameplay loop, if you're playing this solo, is kind of fiddly again. You have to get out of the pilot seat and go in the mining laser arm to mine, and at that point you can't drive to reposition the vehicle. It's just kind of fiddly. But yeah, this is a 100% buying game ground vehicle. Don't spend real money on this. Then we have the STV. This is a great ground vehicle, and it's coming in under the $50 threshold. The only problem is that this ground vehicle only costs $12,000 in game. It is the second cheapest ground vehicle in the entire game. There's absolutely no reason to buy it with real money, none whatsoever. Yeah, there's no reason to buy this with real money. This is going to be a buy in game recommendation for me. You know, starter players with starting money can buy this vehicle in game. You know, like do one box mission, you can buy this ground vehicle in game. It is so cheap in game right now. I mean, again, we don't know what's going to happen to ship prices when the game finally releases, but that's not happening anytime soon. So, you know, just buy the game. Okay, so actually the other vehicle that you can buy with real money, which, you know, it's not even on display up here, is the PTV IAE Special. It's technically the cheapest ground vehicle in the game right now, coming in at only 9,000 aUEC. Okay, next is Kruger. Kruger doesn't have a lot of vehicles, only two. The P52 Mullen coming in at $25. Again, very cheap 10-year insurance token. But again, if you just want a 10-year insurance token, get the PTV. This does not have a quantum drive, but it's a great snub. Okay, this could fit in a lot of ships, but not every ship. It is good in combat though. It is very quick. It is very nippy. Yeah, I mean, it's a good little snub fighter if you have a ship that can carry it. I know it comes with the Constellation series ships, except the Taurus, so you're getting this ship for free essentially if you get a Constellation series ship. So you don't really need to buy this. This is also very cheap in game right now. So yeah, if you just want a 10-year insurance token, I recommend the PTV over this. This is a great buy in game thing. But if you just want a $25 snub ship to run around in, I don't think this is a bad deal. Then we have the Archimedes for $35. I don't recommend this. It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing as the Mullen. So yeah, again, cool snub fighter. It has a little bit different color scheme, but yeah, I don't recommend it. And that is basically it. Those are all of the ships that we have going on for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the Pioneer? What do you guys think of the SRV? What do you guys think of the PTV $15 10-year insurance token? Very interesting day. Let me know what you guys are planning to pick up, if anything. I love hearing you guys comments on this stuff. I went over all the comments on the last video. You guys actually had some really cool ideas. So yeah, let me hear from you guys in the comments down below. But I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time. You guys know what the deal is. You guys know what sales going on. You know, it's the holiday season. I know everyone wants to get out here, hang out with their family, do their thing. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. You guys know the deal. You guys know the drill. I love you guys. You guys have been killing it on the videos. The support has been crazy. Cannot thank you enough for all that. You guys are rock stars. You guys are amazing. But like I say at the end of all these videos, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salute.